In Preston, two enforcement officers, Gary Gibson and Paul Cookson, are returning to a fly-tipping hotspot. They soon make a depressing discovery.
This is the type of problem we're facing all the time. We do these clean-ups, we think we've won the battle, and then suddenly we come back and we find this rubbish all over the place. It's a never-ending saga, to be honest, and this is what we end up with. All we want people to do is just put stuff in a bin. It doesn't seem to work, to be honest.
The smell here is overpowering, but there's a job to be done, and only one way to do it.
It's obvious that whoever dumped it couldn't even be bothered putting it in black bags. A lot of it's just loose waste, decaying food matter, really horrible stuff to work with. Well, obviously this stuff is been standing stagnant for several weeks. As soon as we start to disturb it, that's when we get the odours creeping up.
Just look in there, the nappies completely burst, and it's absolutely stinking.
Because we're bending over, shoveling amongst it, we get a face full of the smell. It's really lovely. Really enjoy it.
I mean, that's more nappies in there, and the weight in that is incredible. So that is an ill baby, that.
The alley is gated, which means some of the residents here, many of them transient, have been dumping on their own doorstep. Sadly, this veteran filth fighter has seen it all before.
There was an alleyway around about here. We used to have somebody who used to change their baby on the first floor, open the window and throw it out in the alleyway. And it was splattered all over the place. It was incredible.
For Gary, familiarity breeds contempt.
And it's just disgusting. If you look, you know, there's nappies all over the place. They're all soiled. It's horrendous. And then these people start whinging and moaning that they've got rats in their house. Well, of course you've got rats. What do you expect? Bless that little baby.
Gary would love to know who did this, but first he must clear it up.
There is a lot of residents who care about this. Unfortunately, there's other residents who just couldn't care less. And that's the ones we're trying to target. If they're not going to listen, they go before the court and they listen to the court.
Back in the filthy, fly-tipped Preston alley, the great clean-up is underway. Gary and Paul are finding some rather unsavoury items.
This is all food waste. Yeah, it's food waste.
That's why we've got rats as big as cats. It's absolutely horrendous. I don't think that's cream soda in there, do you?
Well, I wouldn't like to taste it, to be honest. These are quite recent deposits in the alleyway, and hopefully some idiot resident has left some evidence in the bag for us to find.
This isn't just a clean-up operation. Gary and Paul are ex-policemen, and they know all about gathering evidence.
It looks like the letters that have just been totally ripped up. It's maybe a bit into two small pieces, but we'll take that, and a bit of luck we can put it back together again. We'll see.
We quite often find things that might be useful, such as carpet cuttings. Obviously, we're going to start knocking on some doors and asking people if they know anything about the rubbish. If they've got a similar carpet to that in the hallway, brand new carpet, then they've got some questions to ask when we start looking at the offcuts that we've taken possession of.
This grime scene may be the result of the actions of only a few, but many are affected.
There's a lot of nice people living around here who are just fed up of this constant abuse of the alley.
This grime scene may be the result of the actions of only a few, but many are affected. The idea had been that by gating the alley, children could play here safely. Gary and Paul would love to see that happen, but they're not holding their breath.
To be honest, I've no doubt it'll happen again. There's no doubt in my mind. But what can you do? You know, just have to keep trying.
And there's another reason that fly tipping is a source of frustration.
It's a real shame when you look at a lot of the stuff that's going in those bins. A lot of it could have been recycled. Unfortunately, people don't want to, just take that little bit of time to do the recycling. It ends up in landfill. And this is what we're trying to get away from, really desperately trying to get away from putting stuff in landfill.
The sea of squalid residents' rubbish has been no picnic for Gary and Paul, but it's the taxpayer who'll foot the bill. As Gary resets the bins in hope, it's time for a quick once-over with a Preston feather duster.
That's how the alley should look, and that's how we would hope the alley will look when we come visiting in a week or so time.
Paul records the transformed scene, but he's not taking holiday snaps.
If any residents do say to us, oh, those bags have been there weeks, we can say, oh, no, it hasn't, I've got the picture. Oh, that's one of the 45 alleyways that we're currently monitoring. We're off to the other 44 now.